Howdy, folks. Welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And today is Sunday, and been on hiatus all week, folks. To be honest with you, this has
And
been
we
one.
all.
This has been one of those weeks. Hold on.
Oh, it's me.
It's been one of those weeks where I guess if you've been alive or awake at all this week, you've kind of felt the energies going on, and so it doesn't surprise me that I've had cancellations, to be honest with you. It's not like I've been ready to rock and roll. And I know other people have been feeling it. And so a lot of tired people this week. So figure I'd end up the week with my brother Brian. How you doing?
Buddy, I'm doing good. I've been exhausted too. I last week I had that let's call it a Zeta reptilian experience. I knew that they were hovering around, so I got really bold and said, I want to take some pictures. So I walked out there and did the old selfie thing, and the first thing I saw was this being, and you could see that he was just pushing through the veil, because you saw this part of his face with a big old smile, and it was in red. It was just like somebody pushing through a piece of Reynolds wrap or whatever,
Right.
and smiling through it. And then after looking at the picture even carefully, you could see a Zeta to my left, and he had his hand on my face, and he had these fingers that just curling up all over my head. I didn't feel a thing, but when I
How many
saw
fingers were there?
there were four.
Okay. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, there were four of them. It was like this, and it looked like these black claws. And at first I thought that there was a being standing in the same space I was, but then I saw the hand, and then I looked to the left and I saw this big old shit-eating grin on his face. And I immediately laughed. I mean, it was funny. Normally, I guess people would see that and just kind of freak out, but that whole night, the experience was just, I was able to hear them a little bit, just these different sounds. It was like they were just on the edge, and took a bunch of pictures and was able to see these beautiful looking reptilian beings just standing next to me, what looked like dragons. And then then a bunch of Zetas, and then also around the edge I had Goldie out here with me too, my dog, but around the edge it looked like Sasquatch just standing all around the outside.
Well, they say they're interdimensional beings, or some do.
Yeah, well, I gifted them. I had 3 crystals, so I put them on the back of the car. They walked away. I come back 5 minutes later, they're gone. They're just gone. So
Wow.
I'm in the middle of it, and it's funny to be there in the middle of that moment. But I will tell you, I don't care how much you prepare for that kind of stuff. I told you this before, dude. You get nervous. You go through a lot of old programming where you're in this state of like shock and awe, you know. And I go, I'm okay with this. This is cool, but I've got to calm myself down. And the energy from it, I really had to work through all week. I was exhausted, and it was a different energy. It was a fun energy. There wasn't any. A lot of people talk negatively about those beings, but I just can't take all that at face value. Are you going to experience it's like somebody talking about another human negatively? You know, are you going to listen to what that person says? Or are you going to get to know that person? But these beings were just as curious as I was, and it was a real moment. But energetically, it floored me. It just floored me.
Well, you know, I guess I haven't watched it yet, but somebody had said something earlier. I guess Wayne was visited this weekend too. So, you know, maybe that's just another part of this whole process that's going on. I mean, you know, you look around and all the signs are already there.
We know the stuff is coming. We know that this is coming, but it's going to happen for everybody at different stages. But it's that acceptance. It's that readiness to where that fear, you rip that fear. I didn't go right to fear. I went to, this is awesome. So let's see where this goes, you know, rather than just hiding in a corner and turning all the lights on. Just kept them off and just closed my eyes and felt the energy of it and sensed where they all were. But they were abundant. I mean, it was like, man, it was like a freaking block party is what it felt like. And it's like that everywhere. And it was just a few frequencies above, you know, and below, but the fact that I could gift those crystals like that was a first. The fact that when I said let's take a picture, and you can see that dude, that smiling face come through, and that Zeta standing next to me with his hand on my face. I mean, it was a little freaky. Yeah, I freaked out a little bit, but I went, hey, I didn't scream like a girl.
Right.
I just decided,
No,
come here, put my hand on your face, Bubba.
It would be more of a place of curiosity for me too. I see Goldie's back there on patrol, man. She's back there. She's on lockdown.
She was out here that night.
I swear she just knew I was talking to. She knew I was talking about her because as soon as I said her name, she looked over here.
She's intuitive. How about it, Goldie? She was. They see way more than we do.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So she's doing this. She's doing this. She's doing this. I'm like, you better get used to it. It's something, isn't it, girl?
Big L wants to know, Brent, are you doing call-ins tonight? Yes, I am, but it's going to be the second part of the show. We're going to talk about a few things first, and then we're going to go over some ground rules for call-ins as well. And
I saw you call, buddy. I'll give you a call back later.
Yeah, that's what I'm not even paying attention to it right now, but I will go over the what I expect for call-ins, and I'm not going to go by a strike policy. It's basically you can talk about anything you want to, but don't start talking down on people. I mean, don't act a fool. I mean, use your common sense. No politics. And here's where we're going to go. Start talking about politics, things like that. I'm just going to mute you in the call. That's fine. You'll get to come back. But if you start being disrespectful to people or acting a fool, I'll end the call and block you from the channel. I'm just not going to put up with it. So let's have fun with that being said.
Right. I guess I'm going to leave right now. I just, it makes sense to me. Everybody be loved, man.
I want to keep it on a higher vibe. And I mean, I don't think that that's going to be an issue, but I just want to put it out there from the get-go. Like I said, just, we got more important things to deal with. And that's some of the things we're going to talk about. But before I get too far behind, I already know I am. Let's see who we got with us. Oh yeah, I'm behind. Morning, dude. What's going on, Mike? Good to see you, the Healed Warrior. Well, welcome. There's Mr. Rick Yorkin, Big Al, Love, Joy, Wellness, Massage. Welcome. I saw you here last time too. Good to see you. Julianne Payne, how you doing? Dominic Spiotto, welcome back, buddy. Good to see you. Joyce, are you serious?
Are you serious?
Are you serious? Rebecca Galactinoff, how you doing, hon? David Castle, how you doing, buddy? Miss Breaking Dawn, good to see you. Scotty Boy, what's up, my man? Who else we got? Shannon Kling, how you doing, hon? Did I say Scotty Boy? If not, I'll say it again. Mary Wins, there's my promo department. Let's see who else. Did I miss something? No. Miss Travel 444. What's going on? There's Mr. David. No, yes, he was the only one that didn't cancel this week. Project Skyfalls. Welcome back. There's Robin Hill. Good to see you, huh? Dark Truth. I want to get you on here. Holler at me. My mind, like you seriously, you got to holler at me because I'll forget. I'm just being honest. Robert V, the man, the myth, the legend. And by the way, Robert V donated $50. Thank you so much. It's going to good things. Trust me. This channel ain't going to do nothing but kick ass here in the future. So let's see. Michelle Cannon Free. What's going on? Bruce O'Malley. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. I'd like to get him on here too. Y'all, anybody I'm saying I'd like to get on here, please email me. I want to start getting some. To me, I know y'all enjoy it and stuff, but to me, I feel like it's starting to get stagnant. So, please email me.
Hey, I got to tell you too. The other night, in the middle of all that stuff that was going on, B, Amanda calls me up. She was like, "Hey, something's channeling through me to talk to you." So she knew what was going on. That stuff, see, that's the stuff that like really gets me in the middle of it, going like, really? It was awesome. And then that energy, you could just feel it all linking up. Yep. That gets fun.
Right. All right. Truth in Me. Lyndall Davis, and how you doing? She donated $50 a couple of weeks ago too. So thank you. They're the ones. I'm telling you, so much love out there. Thank y'all for keeping this going. That's why I don't want to think it's stagnant, which is the way I feel. I want to keep it good for y'all. Stations Ed, what's going on, buddy? Angel Gun, good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, I'm trying to get through here, bud.
You're good, man.
Delaney, Miss Delaney, Johan.
Tell me what you see, girl.
Who you talking to?
Delaney.
Right. See, that's what I'm saying. We have seers in this community. Everybody's got their own little hustle. Jana Armstrong, Twisted Isby.
I love it. I want to know what Wayne saw. I didn't hear about that. I'm going to go back and listen.
I guess he's going to do a video on it from what I heard. I guess he just didn't really say much about it today. He just said he had an experience. Tony Sheree, good to see you. There's Miss Amanda B. How you doing, hon? Lori in Lakesh Alakin Chavez. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I imagine there's a lot of people having experiences. A lot of people won't say anything.
Right.
They won't. They'll take it because it's very personal. It's extremely personal.
Absolutely. Susie Q, how you doing? Teresa Hogan, welcome, welcome, welcome. T-Cat, welcome to the channel. Phew. I can't let it go this long from now on. I guess it is better, though, because I get more names in. There's Deborah Tucker. What's going on? For those that don't know, Etheric Essentials by Deborah Tucker. EthericEssentials@gmail.com. Get your essential oil crack needs. Because that shit is like crack. I'll promise you that.
Yeah, we put it in the bath.
I've got some of my chakra oil on right now. Pure Love Ascension. Ray of Thoth 24. Welcome. Good to see you, buddy. First time viewer. Well, okay. Finally caught up. So when was this experience, Brian?
I want to say last weekend. Yeah, last weekend. I want to say Friday.
And I guess it was at night.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you said you went to bed early.
Well, not that night.
Right, I guess.
Not that night. I'm trying to think what I will tell you what led up to it. I was thinking a lot. Actually, I was listening to that tape. I guess they call her the Cert. I don't think that's her real name, though. But that interview with the reptilian female. Have you ever heard that? I was listening to that again, and I was going over it, and they started talking about being able to lift things with your mind and in the process. And she didn't believe very much in humanity waking up, but she sounded very pessimistic to me. But I got to thinking about that, so I started researching that, and I was writing it. And all of a sudden, in the middle of that, I decided to write down a declaration for myself, just a separation from just a freedom, a paper about being free and my intentions and all that. And I wrote it down, and at the end of it, and with that thought at the end of it, that's when everything just went boom. And the camera started going off. I look over and you get this sense. So there was this is what I want to do that happened. And when I wrote it down, I signed it. It just opened up. It was like that time that I decided, hey, something's going on here and I want to have eyes to see. And it just comes in stages. And that's when it started right after that. And I was in this good state. I was in this loving state. I was in this field where you could heal just about anything.
You were in that frequency.
I was in that frequency, and this is what I want. And that's what happened. And it was just a hello, how you doing?
You know, it's interesting you was talking about I've been taking that higher mind training, and that's something I wanted to talk about. And actually, we've got quite a few here now, so I'll go ahead and talk about it. But, you know, I've had interest in doing the telepathy training, and I'm going to do that. And this higher mind training was actually going to be a part of that. But something has led me to present it to everyone. I think this could be a benefit to everyone. So what I'm considering doing is maybe starting a series where, you know, I guess I'll come on here by myself and just go over the higher mind training. I can't do it verbatim because I have to sign a non-disclosure agreement. So I can't show the video, you know, outright. But what I've done is I've got a bunch of excerpts and stuff from some of his other videos. It's Agnost, or I don't know how you say his name, Aagеnost. Anyway, he's the one that does it. And so I want to present this to everybody out here. So if y'all are interested and that's something you might be interested, let me know in chat or leave a comment in the video after it's done. And if there's enough interest in it, I really do. I think I'd rather present that open. And then I've got plenty of other material for the telepathy training, which is going to be a closed group. That's not going to be broadcasted live here. So that's going to be a closed group we're doing. So,
well, I tried that live on Facebook, just doing colors, just to have fun to see how it went. And there's a lot of energy to work through, you know, if other people are looking at it. And it wasn't going very well. There were a few people that were
what are you talking about? Hold on.
Very well. I did this thing on Facebook. I was like, what color am I thinking of? And I'll tell you at the end. And people would throw the colors out. And out of like 10, one would get it. One would get it. And it would be the same ones. So it was all about that wavelength and connecting. But I thought a lot about it, meditated on it, and I got a lot of mixed banded frequencies. A lot of things are being thrown out at people through that particular medium that we were going through,
right?
To try this in a different way. So,
well, see, what I like about this higher mind training is, you know, we're going through this process, and you know, everything is, do you believe in this? Are you a believer? Blah blah blah. And this higher mind training takes you from a state of being a believer to being in a state of knowing.
Yeah.
And it tunes you, it helps you tune out all that other stuff. And that's why I've been on this big tirade lately about tuning out all that other stuff that don't matter. You know, truly our spirituality is the only thing that's important. When we leave here, we don't take none of this with us, not even the body.
No.
So that's probably a little more important. Or at least in my eyes. Well, anyway, but it seems,
unless you're working for the SSP, and then they can, you know, make you a new one.
Right. But it seems like there's a lot of interest. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Like I said, and I'm telling you, like I was meditating the other night, and it was like, man, everybody needs to know this. So that's the way I feel too. So we'll definitely do that.
I'm gonna look it up and see what's going on with it for sure.
Man, I'm telling you, it changes your whole modality of thinking. So worth it. Like I said, you know, I mean, I can pretty much go over it, you know, like I said, I just can't read it word for word, but we'll get the gist of it.
We'll get the gist of it. Always in the mood for a new upgrade.
It does help tune out a lot of that clutter, that noise, as I like to call it.
There's a lot of it.
Yeah, you got that right. So cool. Well, I'll start that, you know, probably the week after next. And I don't know what night I'll do it, but you know, like I said, if you can't catch it live, then you can, you know, catch the replay. But definitely once you start watching one, you'll want to watch it all the way through, because there's pieces all the way through the presentation.
Cool.
So little nuggets. Well, you know, I think we're gonna have a little bit of an interest in calling. So if you want to, you know, that way we're not going forever. We could go ahead and maybe see if anybody, maybe nobody, they may not even call. Well, let me put the numbers in the, number one, the numbers are in the description, but I'm going to put it in chat right now. So you can call in. The top number is the first number all the way down. Eventually, the last number is going to be for first-time callers, but everybody's a first-time caller right now. So anyway,
tell us about your experiences.
Yeah, there's the call-in numbers in chat, and you have to put in the webinar ID number, and it's there. It's right beside it. You'll see it. So we'll see if anybody calls in. It may just be a cricket show. I don't know. Big Al said he wanted to call in, so I'm sure we'll get at least one.
Come on, Al, give us a call.
But it seemed to be, you know, relatively easily. I know last time we were live, me and Trina, she actually tried it, and it went right through. So, and you know, it was clear, and I don't know the international people can call though. That's the only thing. I think it's just in the US. And I think you can get an international option, but it's like another $50.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Expensive. But don't be shy, guys. Give us a call.
Like I said, hell, they may not even call. Like I said, up to 3 people can call. I figured it would probably be a kind of a cricket fest the first time, and especially just trying to work out the all the kinks and all that.
Kinks.
Yeah.
Well,
You know, I've actually got some of those clips from that. I wished I knew how to say his name. Agnost. Does that sound right? We got a caller.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see who we got. Area code 250.
That's Alabama. No, that's 250. No, that's not Alabama.
250. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Hello, this is Truth and Me.
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing very well. It's Tina. That's my first name.
Hey, Tina.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's good to finally put a voice to the emails.
Yes, it is. I get to hear your voice. It's a little one-sided, I guess. So, yes, it's wonderful to reach out and talk with you guys. I love your shows.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And by the way, real quick, I've got another caller that's in there. Just please hold tight until I answer, I guess. I don't know how this works. This is trial by fire, people. Well, do you have any questions, or is there anything you'd like to talk about?
No, I just wanted to try the phone number and see if it actually worked.
Wow, I guess it is working because it's filling up now. I really thought it would be a chirp fest. Well, thank you. I truly appreciate all your love and support. Like, you truly are one of the family, and hopefully one of these days I'm going to get you on here for a show. Is that not correct?
Yes, I would love to. I'm super nervous even just talking on the phone, but yeah, it would be very interesting, and I'd like to be able to do it with other people too, so that I'm not so nervous.
Well, we can do that.
I remember what that felt like.
Yeah, we can do a round table.
That was a wreck.
Here. I'm gonna try to bring somebody else in. See what happens here. We got somebody else in. All right, thank you, Tina, for calling.
See you, Tina.
All right, you guys take care. I love you lots. Bye.
Love you too.
Bye.
Love you too.
All right, who we got with us?
Hello.
Hello, that's Big Al.
Oh, can you hear me now? No, this is Robert V.
Hey, Robert V. What's going on, buddy? Good to hear from you finally. Now, this is another one I'm going to get on here.
Yeah. I'm hoping to get on. I don't have too many days off. I work a lot, and I definitely don't want to do it on a day I work. So,
well, you just let me know when's good for you. I don't care if it's a Monday, a Thursday, whenever. We'll make it happen.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm filling in a lot, so I only had a few days off this week, and then hopefully the next time I'm off, I'll be able to do. But I'm planning on. I've got a whole thing of what I want to cover, so it's all good.
Cool.
Well, that sounds good to me. I'm gonna be ready for whatever. I answered this other person, but I put him on mute. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah. I'm still on.
Yeah. I just put the other person on mute.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, well, today I was trying to make a video myself. I went out into the Badlands and did a bunch of videotaping, so I'm hoping that I get a video out. And I did actually a bunch of talking instead of a horse riding video. So this is going to be actually really good, down to the. I mean, I think everybody's going to enjoy it. It's really to the point. I think I got a good message coming out of just being out in the middle of nowhere.
Hey, that's where
what I mean.
Nice. That's where you get it. I can't wait to hear it, and I can't wait to see your video of the Badlands, because that's one of the places that I went when I took a cross country trip with my friend that had leukemia back in my freshman year of high school, and we went to the Badlands, and that was one of my favorite areas. Man, it's just beautiful.
Oh yeah. It's just huge and beautiful, and just it's almost like a mini Grand Canyon out there.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. Miles and miles of nothingness and emptiness, and you're so far away from everybody. It's just so peaceful out there. You know, I just took a nice long walk on one of the trails, and boy, it felt so good to get away from all the electronics and cars and everything. It just it's amazing how it just recharges your batteries even for a little while.
Yes, it does.
It does. Now, how cold is it up there right now?
Well, today I think it got up to 40. Yesterday it was like 50. I mean, I was out there with I had a jacket on because I was up on top of the ridges and stuff. But you know, even in the morning, I just went out with a light coat and stuff. And yesterday, you know, just a light hoodie, and it was nice. It's been real nice. Most of the snow's all melted here. It's been a real nice year.
I'll tell you what, it's cold here right now and just dreary. Hey, if
I
you don't
love
care,
the cold.
Robert, I'm going to go ahead and bring in this other caller and we'll see who we got. We can just keep talking. Is that okay
Good
with
to
you?
talk to you, Robert.
That's fine. That's
No,
fine.
Robert,
Nice talking to you.
Robert can stay right here with us. I just want to go ahead and bring the other caller in. Who we got with us? Hello? Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how are you doing?
Who we got calling?
Oh, this is Dominic Spiato.
Welcome. How you doing, buddy? You're on
I'm
the
doing
air
good.
with
I was
Ryan
just
and
playing
Rob.
some guitar.
Yeah, I heard the music. That's why I went ahead and muted it. I'm sorry. I didn't know how. I'm still figuring out how this thing works right now anyway.
Oh,
so.
sure. Yeah, I'm no bother with that.
No,
So
let me
I'm
ask
glad
you a
that you're
question.
actually doing this.
Let me ask you a question right off the bat. So when you call in, how does it work? What do you have to do?
Well, it just says some blah, 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 type in the code, and then you are muted for the conversation, but the conversation comes up on the phone, and then when you do you push a button and then you hear me, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. Or somebody hangs up and I'm the next person. I don't know. But I just type in the code and that's it. I just wait and then you say hello and that's it.
Good. Well, I'm glad you said that. So anybody that does call in and when you come on air, make sure you turn your YouTube down because there'll probably be a reverb there. I don't know. It was Zoom.
Right. Yeah, you don't even need it. Like, see, I had the YouTube. Well, I have picture in picture, so I took. I once I dialed in, you were still picture in picture. So then I took my finger and scrolled you off of the screen so that when you did like come in and say hello, that there wouldn't be any interruption like that.
Wouldn't get the echo.
You know, so you can't be watching the YouTube while you're calling in.
Okay.
Otherwise, you hear the echo.
I remember
because I've called into YouTube channels before.
That's what I was going to say. I've watched other shows that had to call in, and people had to turn down their YouTube because you were getting an echo in there. So that's why I'm just trying to think of what I need to let people know before they come on the air. I guess I'm going to have to get down some kind of dialogue.
Sure.
We still got Robert.
Yeah, I'm not really privy
I'm
on
still
it.
Here.
I just wanted to call in and just announce my latest experiment with the Mandela effect, actually.
Oh, okay. Tell us about it.
Well, so I ride a bicycle and I do it often. And so if I go to the store or wherever, I lock it up, right? I got a chain, or not a chain, but like a lock chain or whatever you call it, to wrap around my bike in a pole. And it's a combination lock chain. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So my combination 10-10. You know, it's my birthday. So that's my combination on the bike.
You're a day
and
before
it was
me,
that
man.
way. What's that?
You're a day before me. I'm October 11th.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No shit. Cool, man. Libras. Well, actually, I was almost the 11th. I was born in the 11th hour. I'm a procrastinator
Oh.
by virtue, actually. But anyway, so my combination's 10-10, been that way. Well, I locked my bike up. I don't even remember where. And, I put my combination in. Well, I locked it up, and then you turn, the dials so no one can get, unscramble they want to steal your bike. They can't unscramble. They don't, you want to unscramble, or you want to scramble it.
Right.
So that they can't scramble it back. But anyway, so I locked it up. I come back, and, well, my 1010 isn't working anymore.
Oh, really?
No, it's not working anymore. Not working. No.
So did you figure out what it was, or did you just have to cut the chain?
Well, yeah, I started messing with the first dial, and the two worked. So then it was 2010. So 2010 became my new combination, right? Now I had this combination lock for about 6-7 months, maybe longer. And then it changed on me. I didn't change it, and there's no reason that it could have changed. And so the 2010 worked. All right, now I got 2010. Now, not yesterday, but the day before, the 2010 didn't work. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm at Walmart. All right.
Is it 2020
so,
now?
It's 2020. No, it went back to 1010 because I experienced flip flops in this Mandela effect phenomenon.
Okay. Well, let me put a point to that. See, I've been saying, I swear, I think the Mandela effect, the way we can explain it, I think it's this verge and this merge between the third, fourth, and fifth dimensions. I think that's
yes.
Okay, cool. So you're with me. Okay, that's the only thing.
Oh, there's emergence, and it could be, yes, the dimensions, and it also is. I believe that it's also interference with aliens and Mr. and Mrs. Satan himself. I think that has also involvement in it because, to me, there's false timelines. And it's like messing with my mind. And I don't think God would do that. Like, why should I have to refigure out my combination number? And then it goes back to the original. I don't understand that. But I've talked about so many. Go ahead.
You just have one of the, okay, inside that little Turner thingamabobber, there's little pins. And
right.
Those little pins get wore out, and they change.
Yeah,
what
the
you
tumblers.
need to do is
so it's not a Mandela effect.
Yes. Yeah, you just take some WD-40 in there. You probably got a grain of salt or sand or whatever the heck is in there.
Okay.
Take some WD-40 and spray it in there. Now, it would have changed a whole bunch of different numbers. But one number, I've seen this happen many times before.
I've never experienced. I've had many of these. That's never happened to me. So that's why I'm saying.
I've seen them happen on other combination locks too, where the number will change or they'll get locked up, and you can spray some stuff in there. And one of the tumblers is getting stuck. That's why it worked one time and then it went back. It's just getting stuck in there. Yeah. That's all it is. Spray some WD-40 in there, and your Mandela effect will be fixed.
All right, so it's not a Mandela effect. All right, so there's one other thing I would like to bring up here, but this is the truth, and this has to do with an outer body experience.
Oh yeah, I'm all about it. Bring it.
All right, cool. So I got done with work. This is a year ago, and I did a little 420. And I was like, whoa, I gotta sit down now and relax because I did a little 420. So I sat down on my bed. I laid my back up against the wall, and I went into a subconsciousness. Well, the house dog walks in without me knowing, and all of a sudden, the dog barks really loud. it startled me, and I came out of subconsciousness back into consciousness. And when I came back into consciousness, I felt my spirit energy from above go back into my body.
It feels like you're
I
falling.
Well, no, I felt a drop,
Right.
well, more of like a drop.
Yeah. Okay.
Drop back into my body. So I was in a heightened state of not awareness, but of my, I don't know how I would say it, a heightened body awareness, I guess. Yeah.
Well, it's more,
Well,
you're more.
no, you got to check this out. When the dog barked, he wasn't looking in my eyes. He was looking above my head.
Oh yeah.
All right. Above my head. And then when I came back into my body and I looked at him, he looked back down into my eyes. He barked because I was above my body. Then drew his eyes down.
And you know what? I bet I actually been studying on this, and if and I've been reading on this, and we've been talking about your field of vision. You know, you can only see so much a spectrum, right? Now,
sure.
If you let's just okay. Well, we're going to make it real simple. Okay, people say can see 1 through 7, right? We're just going to make some simple numbers here, so if everybody can understand. People can see 1 through 7, and now if a dog or a cat could see like 1 through 8. And when you leave your body, you become that 8. Now, another person cannot see that, and they go, oh, there ain't nothing there. But that dog or that
dog
cat, as
saw
you know,
me above my body.
Can see that one little bit more. As we all know, that dog or the cat will see the ghost. They will see something, and you'll look at it, and you'll go, I have no idea what they're looking at, but they're barking at something. But
and
when
he
that
barks so loud.
Well, exactly. So
real, man.
I've been looking at it from a scientific effect, and the dog and a cat can see in the dark, and they can see all kinds of stuff. So if their field or their spectrum of vision is just a hair bigger than what ours is, they will be able to see that stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then to elaborate on that is like, okay, people talk about aliens and ghosts and whatever else.
Well, I've had those experiences.
Whatever that is, if you were a smart, intelligent kind of person or entity or whatever you are, and you know that people can only see 1 through 7, and you could make yourself an 8 or a 9, you would be totally invisible to everybody. Isn't that, if you put some real thought
that's a
that,
good perspective on that. Yeah.
Well, I think
it was only for a moment, and the dog, when it barked, it startled. It startled it. So, it's like it won't last for that long. Now, that's not my first experience. I've always had these experiences when I was younger. All right, I can come out of my body and elevate out of my body, and not just a foot or 2, or it was 3 feet, 4 feet, and then I was starting to be able to turn one way my body, the other way, and then flip over. All right, and it was a process. And then when I was a teenager, I left my body and I was going into outer space, the Milky Way, and I was going too fast, too strong, that I knew that if I kept up this acceleration, that I was going to leave my body forever. And I got freaking scared, all right? And I was like, I can't do this no more. I can't do this. I got to stop. And I came back into my body. And it was sweats, it was this, it was that. And I swore I would never do that again.
Do you not have a tether when you do this?
You do. It's a silver tether that everybody tends to have. Some believe in it, some don't. This is different for everybody. But I also believe that this is something that I've been looking into this week after my experience last week. How can I expand my frequency? How can I be able to see further? Not to be able to see in there, but some people can see auras,
Yeah.
and that been taken. You can clarify yourself. You open up that pineal gland, you open that pine cone up and crack it up, you're going to perceive more. They proved that scientifically.
Yeah.
That's from scientific papers. So that's what I've been doing.
It's your photonic light receptor.
The higher you go, the higher your vibration will go. The more you've decalcified that pineal gland, the more you're going to be able to see. But it sounds like you were born with a lot of these abilities that some people, everybody's abilities, like Brian or
yes, but it created fear in me. So, and I got to bring that up because it halted me from expanding it more.
I think you
freaked me out, and I went more to the matrix. All right.
You can go to the ends of the universe. You can just keep going because it goes forever. You're not going to snap that line. You're never going to snap.
Man, I was afraid.
Don't be afraid.
I was scared, and the acceleration freaked me out. And I'm not kidding about that.
Ooh,
it got too fast.
I think that's why they call
I'm a scaredy cat, I guess, in my own spirituality.
Well, I mean, that could be a given. I think that's why they call it a thinning of the veil, though. I think that, part of this evolution we're going through right now is we're seeing new spectrums, and that explains the thinning of the veil. I think that's why even everything looks different now. I mean, that's...
Oh, my God, yeah.
That's why the phones are able to pick things up. The phones are seeing in true, and they're seeing higher in the visual spectrum. So that's a lot of the times how I'm... First, I'll perceive it from a sense. My senses will kick in. I'll know to look up and take a picture. My dog's always usually with me. She's seeing things all the time. But that's what it is. Is for me, it's practice. When I know they're there, I shut my eyes, and I will. And that's the other thing. You gotta
to experience it more without thought.
That's
more
right.
The body.
Fear itself is going to bring you down, and when you're confronted with these things, and
I know it did bring me down. I had to bring myself down because I was fearful.
Fear is a lower vibration.
It sure is.
Yes, I know, and I was always a fearful human being, so I was just born that way. I guess I don't know.
I had that too, brother. Afraid of dying.
If you're
not so much now, but
we don't die. We just don't.
No, we don't. No, we don't. We don't. I know that. You're right.
Yeah. Station Zed says, wow, he experienced the acceleration. First person I've ever heard to verbalize that. That's what I'm saying. We're all on our own paths. That's why, in the beginning, when we talked about this a lot, everybody trying to compare to others. There is no comparison.
Not at all.
Right. We're all unique individuals. We compare, and we should contrast as well. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Compare and contrast. Isn't that what we were taught in school back in the day? Remember that? Compare and contrast in art class?
I had to dump all that bucket out and start learning again. A lot of that stuff we learned.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
Sometimes it sends us down the wrong path.
Yeah, everything you've learned and start over.
Come on. I've been homeless, so don't want to be that again.
Been that myself.
I don't want to be that again. I pray for all the homeless.
You'll be seeing, you were talking about seeing those auras and stuff, and by raising your vibration a little bit, you're just increasing that sense that you probably already have. And this is how I was getting to this the other day. I've been watching some of these people, and I don't know if it's so true, but after I've watched a dozen of them or so, or maybe more than that, I lost count. But these guys were hypnotizing people, for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I'll never be hypnotized.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. It's just the point. Now, listen. The fact is that these guys were hypnotizing people, and they would say, okay, after whatever, I'm going to snap my fingers and I'm going to disappear. Well, the person's literally looking right at them, and they disappear
Wow.
within their eyes. Now, on each and every scenario, it was almost identical. The person would disappear. Now, if you switch that around, that means that our brain is capable and programmable to not see. Okay? So if the brain is programmable not to see a certain thing, then it's also programmable to see extra things. They're just turned off, like an app on a phone. You know, the point is that when your phone is capable, we're just going to use the brain as a phone so everybody can understand. And your brain is the phone. And when you download an app, it makes your phone do amazing things. Your phone can do all those amazing things and then some, but until you get the app, it doesn't let it do any of those crap and things. It just says you can do just this. But if you get rid of that app, your phone goes back to not doing those things again. And we are all started out with the basic program on the phone. Our brain is just basic. And in order to gain and get the app, we have to do whatever it is to download or become to get that app so we can increase, or if you don't use the app, it goes away and then you decrease. Does that make any sense?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, put it in simple terms, because once you understand the process of all of this, then you can comprehend what to do. You know, because a lot of people say, oh, you know, you're talking about seeing auras and ghosts and you're crazy, you know, blah, blah, blah. And there's so many people out there to say, I seen something out of the corner of my eye. I got voices in my head. I don't know what's going on. They go to the doctor. The doctor says, here's some medication. Go home. Yeah, go home. The voices will go away and you got the happy pill and you're good to go. And they
That's
do.
it. And they may or may not give you the shock treatment too, you know?
Yeah, but whichever it is, they don't understand what's going on. They just want you to be the basic phone. And so, but you have the special app, and the thing is there's nobody out there saying, here, oh, you got the special app, this is what you can do with it, here's the instruction manual. But there is none. And the people trying to get the app, they don't know how to use the app in the first place. So when you're trying to do this, you need to practice on it and keep doing it and keep practicing and keep expanding and using it, because if you don't use it, you lose it. Is that correct? Do you agree?
And there are things you can do to help enhance this as you go. I usually take a clear quartz crystal or some selenite. I'll put it up towards my head for, you know, maybe 20 minutes a night. Yeah. And it will help retrain some of those, like that pineal gland, to open up. Plus belief, intent, all that stuff is a major player in this.
Yes.
And it makes me absolutely wonder about people that are, say, schizophrenic. I was just watching that movie, A Beautiful Mind. And all that's happening there is he's tuning into different frequencies that other people aren't. And these are real beings that are there, but people are saying, ignore that. Here's some, oh, don't mess with that, Goldie. It's okay. Don't mess with that. Here's some medication. We're going to shock you. And it's the same process, by the way, that our soul goes through, is this shock treatment to help us forget each time we come in. That kind of resonates with me too, but it's the same process. The more I experience, the more I let fear just drift away and immerse myself into the experience, the more you're going to see. And that's the bottom line.
That's exactly it. And most people, once they experience something and they don't understand it, they're afraid of it and they want to crawl back in the hole. They just, that's enough for me. You know?
And you'll go through that programming that you have. When you do experience something, you're going to be taken back. You're going to go, you're going to have a shock moment, and you just got to go, we'll see what this is all about. Right. And I'm telling you, it can be quite amazing.
Yes. And what you don't understand isn't always, people think it's a bad thing, and they want to label it with some religious stuff, like, oh, it was a demon, or it was an angel, it was this, it was that, it was a alien, it was whatever, because they don't understand what it was. So they know something, they slap a label on it, and then they fear it. And you know, there's nothing to fear until you really know what's going on. Did it hurt you? Did it break your bones? Did it do anything? If it didn't do any of that stuff, it can't hurt you.
No,
Right.
no.
You
Let me
know?
welcome
play with you.
Hey, let me welcome
They
this
certainly
caller
can.
in real quick.
And
Hold
they
on,
do like to play.
we got a caller. Welcome. Who we got on the line?
Hey, Brian. It's Shauna. How are you?
What's going on, Jana? How
Not
you
much.
doing?
I thought,
Hey, girl.
I'm great. I thought I would break the tension a little bit of the boys.
I mean, it was an all guys crew so far tonight. Ain't
Well,
nothing
the
but a
first-
sausage party. Well, how's
I
that?
mean,
How's everything in Jana's world?
the same, just watching the world, the Matrix tumble by.
And it's
Is
fine.
it cold down there? Hello?
Well, I mean, it was 70 degrees, and then it snowed, and then it was 70 degrees again. So,
that's
you know,
been
a little bit
typical.
cold. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it's been here too. Lord have mercy. I don't know if y'all saw that video I put out the other day of when I went to Gatlinburg with my parents. All those X's and stuff in the sky. Did you see that one?
I see that. Yeah, I saw that, and
I
I
mean,
see that constantly.
Yeah, it's just, I'm telling you, where we live in South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, that area, it gets hammered every day. What's it like out there, Robert?
Oh, beautiful blue skies. It probably 50% of the time it's beautiful blue skies. And every once in a while we get the trails coming through that make, they're spraying or doing something, and we get the X's up here too, but not that often. It's either real heavy or not at all. But most of the time it's always sunny here. At least 50% of the time it's sunny blue day with hardly any clouds.
It seems like not necessarily once a week, but on a 1 to 2 week cycle, they'll give us 2 straight days of crystal clear blue skies. But the rest of the days, it's hammer time.
White it out. It'll start out like
out.
Literally, and it turns like weird milky white. Well, this is like an aerospace hub here now. I mean, for real, an aerospace hub.
What is that? Elaborate.
Like Lockheed, Northrop Grumman.
A lot of that here.
They make sounding rockets. They have a project with HARP. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on, and it astonishes me that people don't stand in the parking lot and go, "What is that?" And then I'm like,
have y'all seen a lot of military helicopters in the sky too? Because here in Tennessee,
but I'm
I've seen
next
a
to
lot.
3 Air Force bases. So
well, see, I don't. I live in Tennessee, and but I see military helicopters a lot now.
how far are you from Oak Ridge?
About an hour, but right across the mountain from me is the nation's largest ammunition plant.
Okay. Yeah.
The mountain behind me is literally hollowed out and full of explosives. I've been up to the doors where it's big enough to drive a train into, and the whole mountain's littered with those things.
How'd you get to the door?
I got drawed when I was in high school. Like they've got a lot of property over there, and it's all wooded, and I got drawed to go over there and do a deer hunt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
they weren't
that's the
counting on
only
you.
way. That's the only way I got to see. Well, I'll be honest too. I used to sneak over there a lot when I was a kid too. I got into all kinds of stuff when I was a kid. So I was on the government property and in caves. If there was trouble to be found, I was probably in it.
No, it's all right, Goldie. Don't pay him no mind.
I'll tell you what, I'm pretty stoked about it. This went better than I thought it was going to be honest.
Goldie, come. See, she's seeing it right now because I don't see anything. Come here, Goldie.
Brian,
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Did you got my
What-
weird picture of that flying box car, right?
Yeah, that was awesome.
I mean, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's what I mean. I've seen things like that. Now, not that boxcar, but you can take a picture like I have before. You just take a picture, and you can see outlines of all sorts of things. But that right there was awesome. Did you see that visually that day? It's okay.
No,
It's not going to hurt you.
picture. No. I just found it in a picture.
Oh.
I was, yeah.
That happens a lot. The camera will pick up that the eye doesn't, and vice versa.
I've gotten to where now I can see when I take a picture. You can see the outlines. It's in the infrared spectrum, and you just.
And then
Yeah.
Brian Barnett, if I didn't send you that picture, I will. But it literally looks like
Yeah.
there's a flying box car with lettering on it.
Girl, yeah. That's
See,
because
that's
there's
all
so
about
much
that.
there.
It's all about that spectrum of light.
That's right.
I met a guy out here. I was I parked at this rest area, and he drove up, and he was asking me if he's kind of strange, and he was asking me about a job, and I said, well, I don't know any jobs at the moment, blah blah blah, and the next thing you know, we got talking, and he started talking government conspiracies and aliens, and how he's from California, and aliens follow him all over the place. And I kid you not, he says there's a big alien ship right up there following me. And I looked up in the sky, and I couldn't see anything. And he took his camera out, and he's showing me these pictures of, the aliens, and how he was hiding under his car, and the alien foot, and how it kind of was all distorted and stuff. So he goes ahead, and he says, here, that alien ship's right up there. I can see it. And I says, I just don't see it. So we got out of the truck. I don't know this guy. I think he's going to clunk me in the head or something, and take off with my money or whatever. Who knows? But he takes me over there, and he takes a picture of the sky. I kid you not, he took a picture of the sky, and he shows me the picture, and in the picture, in the outline of the picture, there's a spaceship looking thing.
You bet your ass.
And I was like, holy shit. And then I'm thinking, that's that's your camera. You had this hooked up, blah, blah, blah. He says, here, you take a picture. Now, I aimed my camera right there, and I took a picture, and sure as shit, I had one too. And I didn't know what to say. I'm like looking at him, and I'm getting the heebie-jeebies. This was many years ago.
Awesome.
And I'm like, holy crap, this guy is really telling me the thing. And this was before I was kind of awake or anything, and the guy's telling me that they're following me around. They're everywhere. He says, I see them. I can see them. I know they're there. And I'm like, I just don't see. But with the camera, my cell phone camera, I took that picture myself. There was nothing on my camera. I took it, and kid you not, I had that picture too.
Yeah.
Now, to this day, I cannot explain to you what I saw or what I didn't see, actually. But how it got on my camera, if it was a magic trick, it was a darn good one.
Yeah.
Hey, where did that happen at? Robert, where did that happen?
It was right over there at the Badlands where I was, even today. And I don't know, but the guy, he said that they follow him. And he said, see, there it is, right there. And I could not see that, and he could see it. I don't know how he's seen it, but he did. And to this day, I've taken tons of pictures. I can't see it. I have never got anything on my phone like that again. But that was an experience.
I'd say so. It's lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Sounds like
it says,
my weekend.
Yeah, but I do think it's just some people can see that extra bit, like your dog. you know, or the cat or whatever. And if you can see that, just that extra bit, that's all it takes. That's all it takes.
And you know, that's all a part of working with your abilities and testing yourself, you know, pushing your limits.
And they,
Yeah.
you know, they're not a negative. There's not a negative thing there. It's an exploration for me, because they will kind of test me and push me a little bit more. Like in the picture I took last week, you can see that the Gray's hand on my face. You can see his black fingers coming up. And when I first saw it, freaked me out a little bit. And I looked over at him and I said, well, come here and put your face right here. But he had this big old shit-eating grin on his face, because there's a fun thing that's happening too. There's a lot of play that's going on. And we can either be afraid of it or we can explore it. It's a choice.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jana,
Just think of how many people are out there that have no idea what's going on.
Oh,
True. That's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, exactly. But I mean, most people go through life and, you know, these things are walking around and they're doing, and they have no clue, you know, what they're doing. Now myself, I am trying to beat the system too. Like, I've researched it and I'm trying to build myself one of these things, a helmet deal with the magnets in it.
Just thinking of
I don't know if you guys, if you did, I don't know if you guys have ever heard that, but I bought myself a whole bunch of them in a PRW or PWR meter, and I'm gonna hook myself up one of these and try it out.
What's it supposed to do?
It's gonna scramble the electronic waves above around your head. It's going to be a science experiment, believe me. Either I'm going to go totally nuts or I'm going to see stuff.
I'm doing the same thing with crystals, brother. The same exact thing. I was thinking of a copper thing and then putting a crystal up there. The more you keep these crystals, if you keep them at a higher vibration, bring it to, and you can open up that pineal gland. But I was thinking of the exact same thing today when I was looking around and things interacting. Like right now, something's messing with her. I know it's there. I can see it and sense it, but I want to be able to. So we just got to keep exercising that muscle. And a lot of the things, what helps me is when this is happening, it's closing my eyes and then sensing what's there and then working on raising that frequency a little bit. It's like turning a dial for me, just turning it up a little more, just like you're exercising your muscles.
Yes, exactly. Well, with this, I'll be putting, so what happens is your brain is like a magnet. You got left and right, correct? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is you're gonna have one set on one side and one set on the other side, and to straighten it all out, you're gonna turn one side of the magnet on and then shut it off and turn the other on and shut it off. And you're going to do that like in milliseconds, on, off, kind of like a motor in a car. Boom, 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 boom. And you're going to send these, magnetic pulse on one side, magnetic pulse on the other side, intermittent, really, really, really fast. If that makes any sense.
It does, like the magnet, like a rail. What do they call those magnetized railways? It's the same thing, isn't it?
It's like an
positive,
AEC.
negative, positive, negative, positive, negative.
Yeah,
like an
exactly.
test or like a pulse wave thing.
Yeah,
exactly. So anyway, that's my idea. I got the magnets, I got a bunch of wires, and I got the parts. I just gotta get a helmet thing and put it together.
Dude, that's a great idea.
I know. We'll see what happens.
Well, let me know.
I'll have to make a video on that.
I've been thinking about
you're
stuff all the
trying
time
things.
like that. Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah,
How about
I might suggest adding some crystals to that exercise too. We got to get together on this.
Hey, why don't you try making the helmet out of like clay and like paper mache or something like that as a test model?
Well, I was going to probably use like a bike helmet that's like styrofoam, so I can mount them magnets inside it.
Yeah, but that would be conductive. You need like clay or like paper or something like that.
Well, a bike helmet's just styrofoam. That wouldn't be conductive.
Right, but it won't be conductive. Like the pulse won't go through it.
Yeah, you don't need the pulse to go through. You just need to mess up the magnetic signals in your brain, you know, because your brain only radiates just so far from your head, and you just need to confuse them, you know, just a little bit, just a hair, you know. Like I said, you just need to get it off a frequency a bit, just a hair, to
okay. Well, they
you know,
stand in front of the router or something.
A what?
I'm
A what?
teasing. I said then go stand in front of your router. I'm teasing.
Oh.
Hey, I was thinking the different way of putting some type of Faraday cage on your head and then running something around it. But, you know, there's all sorts of things we could experiment with.
I want to build a copper tube pyramid.
That'd be cool.
Something I can meditate in. I think that would be cool.
Yes.
Goldie,
come here.
go. Energies.
Come here, Goldie. Come here, Goldie.
Okay,
Goldie,
well,
come.
I'm gonna let you in case anybody else wants to.
Hey, girl, good to
Awesome.
talk to you.
Jonna, thanks
Okay.
for calling in, hon.
Absolutely. Have
Goldie.
a great talk to you today.
All right,
Bye.
bye.
Goldie, sit. Come here. They're not going to hurt you. Come here.
Let's see,
Come here, girl.
Let's see. I think somebody else was getting ready to try. Bree Cozy, I think, is getting ready to call in.
It's okay. Calm down.
Oh, this is
How
awesome.
much longer am I going to go? I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to go. It depends on the calls. You know, we're going to let Bree Cozy call in, and y'all keep calling.
I
I'll
love
keep
talking
going.
about this stuff too. This is awesome.
Oh yeah, this is. I like the crystal thing. You had a good idea. I was studying something with the crystals the other day because everything is made out of crystal. I mean, you know, think of your computers and your watches and, you know, calculators. Everything is quartz. You know, it says quartz crystal. Blah 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 blah. Everything is based on that.
Hey,
I can hear you, Bree.
Oh, I wasn't sure.
Well, hello.
Yeah, welcome. Sorry, I just went ahead and let hit for her to talk. I figured she'd just.
That was okay. I
think that's what I'll start doing.
Listening in or what?
I think I'll just start going ahead and allowing the caller to come in, and then they can kind of sit there and wait for a break, and then.
Yeah, there wasn't a beep or anything. I just started hearing people talking, and I wasn't sure.
Well, let me tell you, you've got to wait till somebody takes a breath on here. You can't get a word in. I promise you. You got
because we all got so much important
stuff. You guys are so
stuff
refreshing. You know, I have to say, you guys are so refreshing. I'm here in Northwest Indiana, basically Chicagoland, and it's very money status. Material driven. So to hear you guys talk and be a part of this community is really just, it's put some wind in my sails.
Did you say you're in southern Indiana?
Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland.
Oh,
yeah, I'm
okay.
about a mile from the lake. Yeah.
How close are you to Deer Creek?
That doesn't sound familiar, but there's a lot of creeks and creeks, actually coming off the Kankakee and Iroquois. We have a lot of rivers and things.
This is actually an amphitheater. I used to go see the Grateful Dead.
Deer Creek Theater. Back in the day when I did my concerts, I was probably there. It was probably a different name. Maybe it was Poplar Creek.
Okay.
Oh,
The
no.
last time I went there in '95 to see the Grateful Dead, couldn't end up finding tickets, and we were in the just hanging out in the parking lot. I mean, you go to a Dead show, it's more fun in the parking lot than it is in the show, pretty much.
Oh,
but
yeah?
anyway, oh yeah, I mean, it's a party out there. You can get whatever in the world you want.
We would do that at Alpine Valley and
Alpine Valley.
Oh yeah, Alpine Valley and Tweeter Center. I mean, that's what people do around here. They drink and go to concerts. That's so it's so refreshing to hear you guys talk about.
Well, this wasn't a refreshing experience, though. Back then I didn't know they weren't, but it kind of was in my 20s and my teens. It was refreshing for a teenager. I love the music scene, but what I'm talking about is we ended up getting caught up in a riot, like full blown riot. I got attacked by a police dog and tear gassed, all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
Wow, we went to a lot of concerts and we never ever had anything like that. It was always just a good time, and never any trouble like that. So that's
the only reason they let me go, we got caught up in the stampede of people, and it was me and my girlfriend, and we were both tripping our faces off. But anyway, we got caught up in this stampede, and then finally we had got where we filtered around, and we were actually running away from the venue, and everybody else was tearing down the fences and going over. And that's why the policeman let us go, is because we were actually running away.
You're trying to leave the scene instead of be a part of it. Yeah. I've heard stories. We always had good experiences though, but you guys are doing, you know, it was almost like I had a humble scream out into the universe, like I can't be the only one. And then I found you and Trina and Wayne, and you know, and it's just like, yeah, I ain't the only one. I knew I was. So
no, you are not alone.
Exactly. You know, it's my whole life I've known something was wrong. Even since I was a little kid, when the animals were afraid of me, I knew something was wrong. Something was wrong, you know? So it's good. It's good. What you guys are doing is awesome. The community. It's hard for me to follow chat and listen to what you guys are saying, because that's like two different things going on. So when I do catch it live, it's hard. It's hard to like.
Well, and that's why when I tell people that come on as guests too, it's really best not to even try to follow chat, because you can get lost in that and you're not paying attention. It's hard for me trying to follow chat and pay attention to what my guests are saying, much less.
I believe that. Yeah.
And try to carry on dialogue too.
Right? Sure. And I'll be in chat and I'm like, wait, what did Brian say? What did Trina say? You know, and then I end up rewatching it, but I can't spend my whole life watching, you know, YouTube videos.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that. That's what I've told people. I was like, even if it means turning my show off, we got to cut as much of this out as we can.
I usually during a week I have to take 3 days off, 3-4 days. I have to put it all down.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to bring in the next caller, but y'all can continue to talk.
Oh yeah. And I wanted to say, Bree is short for the feminine form of Brian, so we got the 3 Brians on tonight. We got a trinity going.
That's funny.
I named my daughter Brianna. So I know that's
yeah, and I go by Bree because it's Brianna.
She goes by Bree now. She calls herself Bree.
Yeah, I just go by Bree because it's just so much easier, and I've been called just about every name under the sun. So. But it's been so great, you know. Finding you guys.
You're one of the family now, so you're pretty much stuck with us now.
Oh darn, right? Yeah.
Let me see who else we got.
I'm glad to be stuck in this family. You know, you're not going to be crammed shit down my throat.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
You know,
go ahead,
Brian. You've created such a good space here for people to come together of like minds, and they're really finding out that there's other people out there just like themselves. And I think that's why everybody's connecting so well, is because it's like, oh my gosh, I found the island where all the same people live. Here they are. I'm not nuts.
Well, that's why I said that in the beginning.
It's not a big deal. It's not an argument if you don't think like me. Like just getting that idea across to some people is, oh my God, you can't even play, you know? Yeah. So it's refreshing.
Hey, who was we speaking with? Scotty Boy?
No, this is David Castle.
David Castle.
Yeah,
I'm just getting them wrong all over the place.
Awesome.
Hey, buddy.
I'm another one of those guys with a funny accent.
That's all right.
Who you telling? Listen to my country hick ass.
David Castle, nice that you could get on.
Yeah.
Nice to be on. I love being able to put people's voices with their, I guess they're typing on the computer up, I could say.
There you go.
We've got another call come in, but I don't think I got enough lines for it. Please hold.
I was excited to hear about our Wayne's experience with the orbs, because I had the orbs come and visit me on September 17th last year.
Wow.
And I always lay down before I go to bed. I always say what I'm grateful for, and I meditate for like 30 or 45 minutes because I like to clear my mind. I've been having lots of lucid, really, really vivid dreams, and I don't want to take any of this noise from this dimension into my dreamland. So I always make sure I get rid of anything that's happened to me during the day. I let it pass. I forgive those. I forgive myself. I move on.
Yep.
Well, on the 17th of September, I had laid down and I did my gratuities, and I was in my meditation. And about 20 minutes into my meditation, I started getting this urge. I had to pee really, really bad. And I normally meditate for, at least 30 minutes. And I couldn't get this feeling out of my head. So I opened my eyes and I was getting ready to get up and I couldn't physically move. It was like it was sleep paralysis.
I had that last night.
Yeah, but you don't feel like you're threatened though. It's like I'm just frozen. And I'm sitting here and I have to pee really bad and I'm like, what's going on here? Yeah. About maybe 30 seconds into me not knowing what's going on, these 3 energy orbs, they came down from the ceiling, like the other guy said. They came down from the ceiling, and there was 2 of them on one side and 1 in the middle. Right. The middle one went in my chest. The other 2 stayed about maybe 3 feet above me.
Wow.
And when the middle one was in my chest, maybe 5 seconds, I could move again. I was physically a little bit cold, right, and I was very nervous at the situation. I didn't feel like I was threatened, but you can feel the energy when these things are around you. I'm sure any of the people that's listening right now that meditate, you know what your energy feels like. When there's another energy around you, especially when it's an energy this strong, I can just imagine maybe if you stuck your finger in a light socket and it didn't hurt and kill you, the energy you would actually get from this light socket, that's what the energy, you're feeling this like energy that's in this room with you. And it makes you apprehensive, but it doesn't, you don't feel like this thing's going to harm you in any way. There was 2 of them right there, and they zipped off. I was, like I said, I was a little apprehensive. I took my time, but I started moving because I had to piss really, really bad. I was getting ready to be a waterbed. I had to go so bad. So I got up, took about 2 steps to go to my bathroom, and I froze in 2 steps because I had this thought running through my head. And it was like it was somebody talking right next to me. It was there's no doubt it was telepathy. They said, "Are you scared?" Yep. And I was like, "No, I'm not scared." I said, "That just doesn't happen every day. I don't see something like that happening to me. I don't see myself leave my body and come back in."
Right?
Yeah.
You feel this apprehension. I knew what was around me last week. And it was a reptilian and Zeta, and I knew it. I could see him. I could see him in the pictures, and I was calm, but I had this feeling inside, and it was an old program working up, and it made my heart rate go up. It made me a little apprehensive, but I just breathed through it and stepped into it and just experienced what I needed to experience. But I know what you're talking about with that. I know exactly.
I'm going to go ahead and bring in this other caller. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and bring in this other caller real quick. Hold on 1 second. Just let me introduce them. Who we got with us? Who's calling in? Welcome.
I see you.
It's a cold day. It's Ice Station Zed. How are you guys?
What's going on, Zed? Lord, this is like the all-star cast crew.
Well, it's really great to be in a crowd where you guys have 360 degrees in your circle instead of 320. I remember a time in my life long time ago when South was 160. So it's good to be here.
Awesome.
Well, welcome. Awesome. Yeah, I'm really pleased with the way it's turned out. I really thought it was just really going to be a ghost town. Yeah. So what's on your mind, Jim?
Not a darn thing. I have taken all my meds, so I shouldn't be speaking in public. But, well, I've had 24.
I love about Jim. No filter.
I've had 24 cancer operations. I've had open heart surgery and got a titanium valve in there, and I've had 3 strokes. And I've tried to wean off of the meds that they give you to stay alive. And every time I've tried it, I end up in the hospital. So I don't have a choice.
Your nickname should be Rooster.
You know, I mean,
It
sometimes
should.
sometimes
They haven't found a way to
especially
kill
with
you yet, have they?
No, they haven't.
Yeah, they're still walking.
You have the will.
They told me I wouldn't make it past 53 to 56. And I went back about 10 years ago to just tell all the docs that, hey, I made it. They're all dead. Yeah, they're all gone. So,
They don't know what they're talking about. I've proven doctors wrong more times than I can even count.
Well, one of these days, I've got to tell you I got to tell you the story about the Mandela story, which is actually how it all started. And I don't know if we have enough time or not, but
yeah, please go ahead.
All right. Well, back in the day, I've been in communications all my life, and I have a pretty good background in that. Well, there were two guys sent from London down to where he was at in the jail, and they were there for about a month. And one was from the BBC, and the other was, I think, the Times of London. Anyways, they used to go to this bar every day at 5 o'clock, and they were very unkind people to the locals, bartender, the locals. They thought that they were just the very, very best, being from Great Britain. And so after about 2 months, the guy comes in, and he just looks like he ran a marathon, goes up to the bartender, give me whatever he asked for, nobody drinks, and said, Mandela just died, and they've kicked us out. And he said, I can't believe it. They won't even let us get near the place. And so and they carry on a little bit, and these two guys are listening, the two reporters. And another guy comes in, and he backs up the story, talking to the bartender, and says, they won't let any of the new shift go in. They did all this stuff about him dying. These two reporters get up. They both go back to their hotel. One has teletype, and the other had, I'm not sure what his comm was, whether it was phone or some sort of shortwave radio, but they both fed the story back to their news services, and it went out. And I'm coming home. I was working for a communications firm. I left the place at about 4:30, and I hear that Mandela has passed away. I get back in the house. My wife said, "Did you hear about Mandela dying?" I said, "Yeah, I just heard it." So she's always has his dinner ready at 5 o'clock, and I get the TV warmed up, turned on, and we're waiting for the story. And nothing, not a word on the news. Oh. So we listened to the 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock news, not a word about it. What ended up happening is that somehow they got the word that it was a joke they were playing on these two guys. They put the story out because they both confirmed each other's news services. And that's how the story came out. But everything else after that, all the stories that we talk about being the Mandela effect, yeah, it's happening. It's true. But that story was the root of that. And that's how that started. That's the root of the story. And
learn something new every day, right?
Yeah.
That's
but everything else that's happened.
Very cool.
The things that we relate to, that we say is a Mandela moment, probably is real.
There's always some truth at the bottom of a legend.
Yeah, I had something like that with, you remember that movie, Darby O'Gill and the Little People, the Disney movie that came out? Well, they changed the voice.
Little People?
Yeah, the Little People. Well, they changed the voice of Darby O'Gill. They changed the voice of King Brian. And it's only like that on the Disney Plus channel. But I had the movie. But when I heard it on Disney Plus, I'm like, they've changed these voices. These voices are different. And he would count in Gaelic. And on the Disney Plus version, they don't count in Gaelic. They count in English. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh, that's a one hell of a Mandela effect right there. So I start writing it down. In fact, I even posted a video. Then I took it a step further and researched it and found out that on Disney Plus, they changed the voices because they're trying to appeal to a different audience.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You gotta check those things. They can either hit or miss, but that freaked me out. What impressed me is the fact that I could tell that there was a difference in the voices.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that people take as a Mandela effect. and right away they don't do any research.
Yeah.
They don't look into it. They just go, oh my God, this was like that. But people, I swear people have such a short memory or an attention span, or they don't really pay attention. And then when something does change, they don't really realize it until later on. And then they think about, well, I think that was different, but then they're not sure because, people aren't really that
even eyewitness
focused.
accounts. Even eyewitness accounts have been spoiled when they have to pick someone in the lineup and they'll pick the wrong person or whatever. I mean, because
that is totally the. You want to hear a really good scenario on this? Now, there was a guy at my job that had a small accident. He backed into a light pole, right? And within 15 or 20 minutes, he had to call this in and explain exactly what happened. Yeah. And within that 15 minutes, he forgot the original story, and the story that he told was totally different than the story that actually happened. He thought he backed up for 30 feet. He backed up like 6. I was standing right there. He said he never got out of his vehicle. He did, and he did all these things. And then when he told the story, he's like, well, I don't think I got out of my vehicle. I didn't. I backed up. I was this and that. And I'm thinking,
all the time. Yeah, it happens all the time.
The stress. He literally had a whole new story in his head, and he was serious about it, because when I told him about it, he thought about it. He's like, oh yeah, I guess I did. And I'm thinking, where were you? You were in the movie, and I was watching it, and I can remember it, and you can't.
Yeah,
so
I
think that's how a lot of those things. Yeah, I think that's how a lot of these things get really started. Is people lose track of what's really going on, and they're in their own little bubble, and they really truly believe what.
And don't even try to pop
story.
that bubble, because.
When that happened with me, I was like on it real quick. And then when I realized after a second more research, I went, okay, all right, calm down.
Yeah. all you have to do is bring up someone's straw man if they know who that is, and you can tell if they're in a bubble or not. They're like, okay, you just want to be in your bubble. Okay, stay in your bubble, your comfortable bubble. Yeah, we'll pop your bubble.
If I can jump back in for a second. I did want to be.
Yeah, they don't know the gilded flag and the straw man. You can't go anywhere past that. They got too many boxes.
Yeah, if I can, while David Null is still in here, I wanted to really shout out to David Null and thank him for reminding me of something that he did that I had forgotten about when I was young, in 20s, just after 20. I used to have this interaction with crows on top of a fire tower. It's just long story, but we all have had something. So I forgot about trees. And one night David was talking about sitting with the tree, talking to the tree. And I had totally forgotten that I used to do that 60 years before. And ever since then, I have my favorite. Well, I had this funny association with this huge pine tree in the backyard. And now it's all deer. I got 9 deer that walk up to me every day outside. And it's incredible. I can stand there and literally, I don't know what language we're speaking, but it's all good.
There's an inner language that words do not express. There are no words for it, and that's why I like hearing Wayne and Brian and Trina and listen, because it's like, that I couldn't put it into words, and then they can put it into words. I'm bad with that. So it's like, I start ringing like a bell. It resonates, like, keep hitting that mallet,
But Trina's got to get rid of that fuzzy, purple, frozen. You ever have frozen fog? If you've lived long enough, you probably have experienced literally fog that's almost like frozen. When you run your hand through it, it's almost like ice crystals. And one night I was doing something, and the only thing I could see was this purple frozen haze and her face, which covered the entire screen. It was just one of those moments where poor Trina. That's great. Hey, I'm going to run on you guys.
Yeah, actually,
I'll
I'm
tell you-
getting
I'll-
ready,
saying
I'm
that
getting
way.
ready
Any
to
other
wrap it
callers?
up altogether, to be honest with
Okay. Well,
you. My head's
thanks
about
for
to
letting me
explode.
call in. Like I said, you guys are a breath of
Yeah,
fresh
you've
air,
been
all
great.
of you. It's a wonderful community, and keep
Yeah.
keep doing what you're doing and spreading the love, because it's
All good.
Yeah, and thank you all for all
We're
calling
building
in.
that grid, man.
I
We're building that
appreciate
All
it.
right.
It's great to talk.
We're gonna
to you.
build our own grid.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, listen,
We're
folks,
working on building our own grid. So.
I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I think me and David will be back Tuesday. I'm sure he'll be in for it.
Cool.
So until then,
Well,
I
this
am
was
going
an
to try.
awesome show.
What's that?
I says this was an awesome show. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. Yeah, you'll have to come back on and join again sometime.
Man.
Like, actually come
Oh,
on
yeah.
the show.
Hey, I wrote down your
Yes,
number. We
yes.
got to talk more about that. Those contraptions. I'm all about that.
Yes, I'm all about that. I'm good for any information on that to help me along or input. I would
That'd be fun.
appreciate it.
Well, good deal. Well, listen, y'all stay right here with me, folks out there. I'll be back Tuesday night. Until then, be the frequency you want to receive. I love you all, folks. Have a wonderful night.